an IB, and what piece of advice do you have for incoming people who want to be an IB?
My experience in IB was wonderful. It was a journey of learning about myself and about the world. A piece of advice that I would give to incoming seniors would be that you don't know everything in the world, and get started in everything early. Don't leave it till the last minute, like I did. And for freshmen, it's not impossible. You can do it. Just stick to it, and sooner than you think, you'll be in your senior year, walking down the halls.
So how has the IB program benefited you?
I need the IB diploma to study in Germany, so during like the journey of like IB, it benefited me because with the credits I get from IB, I can actually study in Germany and go to university in Germany, because without the IB diploma, just with the normal high school diploma, I couldn't do that.
In your opinion, what was your overall experience with IAs? Which one was the easiest and which one was the hardest?
The ITGA's IA was the easiest, and the hardest, I'm gonna go ahead and say history.
Okay.
Or the math one.
Okay.
Okay, because the history, I did a very complicated topic that had no sources in English. They were all in Russian. So I had to like I didn't make up things, but I really had to like manipulate what I had.
Okay.
And then for the math one, I just had no idea how to do a math IA. I don't even know what I turned in.
Beautiful.
It was, I think I was modeling cancer growth with calculus that I didn't even know yet. So, yeah.
Well, I feel as if biology is the best science out of the three because you have an outstanding teacher, and when the day comes for the IB testing, she's there for you and she's able to help impact your grade with it. And it's overall the best science to go to because that's the science that you'll get the diploma with. As well as the IA, I would just say to pay attention in class and try to focus a lot more on plants and as well microbacteria.
Sergio, what feedback can you give on your chemistry IA?
The most important feedback I would give would be mostly to just use the time that you get in class to do your IA and really maximize your time, and just don't waste any time. And I know I've said time already 3 times, but it's because, trust me, that's something that will really come back to bite you. So when you're in class, really just make the most out of it, finish your IA, just come in focus with your supplies, and then from there, the written part is the easiest part. Just make sure to really just document your whole process. Just follow the guidelines and you should be fine. It's nothing too difficult, but if you let time catch up to you, then it'll surely make it more difficult. But really just stay on task, be productive, and you'll be fine.
Hector, what feedback do you have for the physics IA?
What feedback do I have? I mean, it was good. I learned a lot, but it was kind of long, and I didn't really like it. Is that good enough?
What was your experience with the extended essay?
Honestly, it was a really hard time. It was a long process with all the research I had to do in the library at UTEP and in databases. It was fun though. I learned a lot about history, especially about nuclear weapons, which is something I'm interested in. Yeah.
Okay, and what piece of advice could you give to incoming freshmen and juniors?
Don't wait for the last week that it's due.
And okay.
Yeah, and I mean, just manage your time. Don't do what I did. Make sure you revise it first before you turn it to your teacher. And pretty much just go with the flow.
Hey Memo, what are you doing?
I'm just finishing up my CAS projects, bro. My CAS reflection.
What is that?
Well, basically, what the IB program wants from you is to engage in activities where you're engaging in social services, and then write reflections about it, about how it has helped you become a better person. So right now, I'm just writing about how I'm involved in the Children Interactive Agency, and we took the kids out to play, and how seeing them develop in their social experiences helps me as a mentor to guide them.
What was your experience with CAS, and what advice would you give to juniors?
CAS is fun if you go into something you like, and if you don't like something, make going. Because if you just do the projects that are already there, but as an example, Pledge for Kids, but you hate soccer, what's the point? And one advice that I would give them is to try to keep up with the reflection so you don't have to do 70 in 2 days. And to make sure you manage your time wisely. Because with CAS, IAs, and your EE all do at the same time,
Really
you don't want to die.
Could you please emphasize your experience with theory of knowledge?
Well, in the theory of knowledge presentation that we have to do for one of our major grades, we take a real life situation, say for example racism or police brutality, and we decontextualize it to analyze it through a TOK point of view. So we ask questions taking into consideration the different ways of knowing and areas of knowledge that we talk about in TOK, and then we have to tie it back to after we make those decontextualized questions, we tie it back to our original real life situation, and we make implications for how the knowledge that we've gathered can be applied to other real life situations.
How has IB benefited you in your journey to college?
IB has benefited me in the sense that it has prepared me more. I was never scared to go to college, but I think now I'm especially ready, if that makes sense. I know I can write essays really fast, and I know they're not bad essays. I also know that, I guess, even if I'm stressed out, like it's just temporary, because here in IB I would stress out, and then a week later I'd look back and I'd be like, wow, I was stressed about that, but I already finished it, I already turned it in, and like, it's all good. So I feel like I'm better with the deadlines, and I'm better at dealing with the stress of like having major assignments due one after the other. And I think we're gonna see a lot of that in college, so I'm not scared for that.
Okay. Can you explain the process of Spanish SL?
No, I'm just kidding. So for Spanish SL, we have two IAs, so to speak, which is the written assignment. We have to write on the computers a 250 to 400 word essay. And we also have our Spanish interviews, which we are supposed to describe a picture.
Okay.
And then after that, we have paper 1, 2. No, paper 2 is the written assignment. It's similar to our written assignment. We have 250 words to write, but just within an hour and a half. And paper 1 is where we read an article and have to answer questions about it.
Cool. Could you talk about your experience with French?
Well, it was a lot harder than I'd expected it to be. I went in wanting to learn a new language, and it was since I already knew Spanish, and it was a lot of speaking, because we had to have an interview and we had to speak fluidly and know how to conjugate and know a lot of vocabulary. So it was a lot of cramming before the test, and we also had to write like a bunch of essays. Yeah, and also for the final exam.
What has been your experience as a journalism teacher with IB students?
My experience with IB students has been absolutely fantastic. Every year I get a few of them, and every time I have an IB student who comes into the classroom or onto the staff, I'm super excited because they're really hardworking, they're go-getters, they take their deadlines seriously. They are very busy with IB, but I feel like yearbook is also an outlet for them, and so they take all those skills that they learn about getting work done in a timely manner and with high quality work, they take that and they apply it to yearbook. So I love my IB students. I think they're awesome.
Coach Torres, What factors of IB have you seen to be reflected onto athletics?
I think with the IB student athletes that I've come across with, I think the IB program has laid down a great foundation for them to be successful. And the reason why I say that is all the IB athletes that we've had have accomplished great feats both in academics and athletics. And I think that the values and the core of what they're learning when it comes to responsibility, teamwork, leadership, their character development, and the ability to multitask and not just do a lot of things halfway. They multitask everything that they're involved in at a very high level. And I think that when we see our world today, in order for you to be truly successful, you have to have those qualities. I know the IB program is rigorous. I know that it's a lot tougher than football, that's for sure. But another common thing is every IB student athlete that I've come across that's been on our football team has been an all-district player, an all-city player, senior all-star. And I think that with the schedule and the expectations that we have in our program and that of the IB program, it's lent itself to being consistent, and there's a clear definition of what's expected of these students. And I have no doubts whatsoever that every kid that leaves our school going through the IB program is just set up for success and way ahead of the curve from your average student.
Memo, Sergio, what's the best part about being done with IB?
It started?
That's it.
That's it?
Finished.
That's it? IB's done? That was it? Oh, too easy. Come on now. Huh. Just finished testing 3 weeks worth, but you know what? We're still good. We're still Gucci. Senior
Still
day
alive.
looking good. Come on now.
Good as hell. You're ready for the
Graduation next.